Hi guys, this is a quick run through, well, as quick as possible, of the Element pop-up program, which I've created. As I go through, I'm not going to edit this file afterwards, so it's just quite rough. I'll send you a download link for the program. When you get it, it'll be a zip file. Just unzip the two files into a folder that you want to use the program with. The Element pop-up program basically gives you two functionalities. It gives you the ability to have a pop-up for the impact video, and also allows you to have a pop-up as well to show the hitting area. And there's obviously a few other features in there as I go along. I've also added in a GS Pro client as well. So the Element can speak directly to GS Pro. If you go into the settings in the sgt.local, you can set the Element to speak directly to the computer. I'll come to that in a second, but if you do that, then you can't use the client inside the program here. They'll clash with each other. But I'll hopefully come to that in a bit. So hopefully you see on the screen I've got GS Pro running, and I've got the two files that are extracted into a folder as well. Just again, unedited. This is not a replacement for the sgt.local web interface. You still need to use that just to check things, do your alignment, and do the basic setup. So once you've set it up, your Element, it should be on your local area network, either through the LAN port or through Wi-Fi. If it's not connected to your local area network, then this won't work. Anyway, let me just launch straight into it. I'm going to have to go through it quite quickly. So again, launch the exe file. As you hopefully can see on the screen. So all you can see on the screen is that an Element text file has appeared. This is a settings file which has all the program settings. So if you need to back up the settings, make sure you take a copy of that. Now what you can't see is there's a second screen which has popped the program up. So I need to drag them on to this GS Pro screen. So you can see there's a pop-up there for the ball location, and also the GUI as well. So let me just minimize that down. So again, a very quick run through. When you start the program, it will automatically connect to sgt.local. So it'll look up, find the IP address on your local area network. If you want to disconnect the program at any time, I don't see why would you want to do that, but just if you click on the button, and it'll disconnect. Click it again, and it connects straight away. There's a ready button, so you can click that to put it into standby, the Element, click it again to take it out of standby. There's a ball and club data button. Let me just make this a bit bigger. Yeah, just leave it down there. So if you click on the ball and club data button, you should see that the pop-up's disappeared. The reason why that is because the ball is within the ball data area. If you click on that again, it's outside it because the ball and club data area is smaller. So I've just put a ball in that area just so we can see what happens when there's a ball inside the area. There's another button. As far as I can tell, hopefully Mike and Brett can confirm, there's only two modes the Element can be in. It's either normal club mode or it's putter mode. So if you click on putter mode, that manually puts it into putter mode, and then click on it again, takes it out again. There's also a right-hand, left-hand button, and that's what that does. So the very, very basics are there. The other things are all in the settings. So by default, GS Pro is not set up. So for this program to work, you don't need to have GS Pro linked you can just have it idle and just use the element to connect to GS Pro. But there are some advantages with using the client to do that. So let me just go through the settings. A lot of things you can just leave by default, but there's lots of settings. I'll have to rush through them very quickly. Okay, so click on settings, and you've got element connection, auto or manual IP. Leave it on auto unless it doesn't work. Keep element ready. Normally the element times out after a period of time, so it goes into standby. If it does do, then that box at the top will go into standby. If you want to bring it out of standby, just click on it again. You can select keep it ready for 4 hours after last shot. So if the program detects it's going to go into standby, it brings it back into ready automatically. Or you can do keep ready on GS Pro events. So what that means is that if you have the link to GS Pro through the program, if the unit goes into standby, you can do a club up or club down, and that will send an event through to the program, and that will bring the element out of standby so you can start hitting shots again. So let's just click it back to keep ready. Okay, impact show time. When you have impact on the screen, hit the ball, this says how long do you want it to show up on the screen. So it goes from 5 seconds all the way up to 60 seconds. So you just set how long you want it to be on the screen for. If you want it to delay before it shows on the screen, you can do that. I'm not too sure why you'd want to do that. Also, there's an option here to enhance the video. Sometimes the videos that come out of the element are quite dark, so this can auto enhance them, just make them a little bit lighter. So if you click on auto, you've got auto, none, or manual. If you click on manual, you get a manual slider, and I'll show you that in a second because you can't see the pop-up. It's on the other screen at the moment. Let's take it back to auto. There's some tick boxes here. So it says what pop-ups do you want? Do you want the hitting area pop-up, the impact video pop-up, and then stop video and ball detect? So if you've got the impact video showing, so at the moment it shows for 20 seconds. If you move a ball into the hitting area, then it'll stop the video automatically. Ball ready sound, you got none, a beep, which just gives you a quick beep. You got ready, which is a noise. It says ready, and you've got custom as well. Let me just turn the sound on before I forget. Yeah, hopefully it will record the sound, but you do get a voice that says ready when the ball's in the area. You've got a sound controller here as well, so you can independently control the ready sound volume. Last option is, you might use this or not, is a UDP trigger. So if you're using Kinevere or OBS to do swing recording, you can send a UDP trigger. I know the element sends that out as well if you set it to be the same IP address as computer, but this will do it as well at the same time. So that's the very, very basics there. But the thing you need to do is customize the pop-ups. So the first thing you probably need to do is click on place pop-ups. So click on that, and then you'll get an extra menu that appears at the side. Let's drag that over, and then drag that in. Okay, so with the zip file that came, there's an impact video already sent. Apologies for my pole golfing there. So once you click on that place pop-ups, you'll see these black dots appear in the corner of the boxes. So the top left-hand one is to move it around, or sometimes you can put the cursor inside it, and then the bottom right one is to change the size of it, so you can change it, shrink it, squeeze it into different sizes. And same with the impact video as well. So if I squeeze that, I'll do that. I think I should be able to change the video now to manual. So I think that's unprocessed. Let's turn it off to none. So that's the video before it's processed, I think. Auto is there, and then manual, and it should change how much booster is on it. So it picks up the background detail. Okay, let's turn it off and back on again, just so we know where we're at. Okay, so once you set the size of the pop-ups and the locations, they should remember and store them in the elements.txt file. So what you want to do is obviously move these around on the screen and put them wherever you want them to be and put them appropriate size. And generally have this settings program on a different screen. So obviously it gets in the way when you're trying to set all of this up. But let me move that out of the way. Okay, I'll just run through some of these options which appear when you click the place pop-up. The ball position calibration, leave them settings by default. They're used to position the ball inside this area, but I think the default should work. The ball size, as you can see, you can make it bigger and small in the pop-up area. The two next sliders are for when the ball gets lost when it's trying to track it, how long it keeps the pop-up area up. So just leave them on default time being. Ball color, if you want to do that, you can change the color. This is one of the bugs at the moment. The color chooser is very small at the moment, but let me pick a nice purple on there. Let's take that back, that's hideous. Okay, hitting area background color, you can choose a different color hitting area background. Let's choose a garish yellow, or if you want to go back to defaults, the button to the right of the chooser takes you back to the default. You can also hide the background area, so it only shows the hitting box. Also, you've got a button here for swap X and Y when left-handed. If you're a left-hander, your unit will be facing the other way towards the GS Pro screen, your impact screen. So you might have to click that, otherwise the ball will go in the wrong direction, but you need to have a play around with that. Hitting area, again, you can choose the colour of the hitting area, whatever you want it to be. So have a play around with that. I've also added in, which hopefully is good for Brett and Mike. I've not got permission for them to put this logo on, so hopefully it's okay. If you click on SGT logo, you can have that in the unused area on the screen as well. Yeah, let's leave it on. Also with the logo, you can choose what colour you want it to be. So let's make it a nice pink. Okay, next options are hitting area box. You can have it the default, or you can have it as a wireframe, or you can have it as completely transparent. So if it's completely transparent, obviously you can't see where the boxes are. That might be useful for you. I'll show you that in a second. So let's go back to wireframe. Hide on ready or shot. So this pop-up box, you can get it to hide when the ball goes into the hitting area, or you can get it to hide when you take a shot. Hopefully I'll be able to show you a live demonstration of that in a second. Wire size appears, so you can make that bigger or smaller on the wire setting. Shrink top edge. Let me just show you that. Now that links in with this option at the bottom. So at the moment, the hitting area is as per the sgt.local website. So what you can do is you can rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, like that. Let me just drag this over so you can see, and then drag this in. Oops. I'm adjusting. Okay, so what you probably want to do with the wireframe is to get the ball inside that box on the screen. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. You'll have to play around with these settings when you get it set up yourself. Let's go back to the program. So I minimized it. There we go. Okay, so what these shrink drop edge does is it allows you to give it a perspective, and you can also skew it left and right. This is probably more obvious when you're on the range, but it makes the hitting area look sort of 3D. Let's just change that SGT logo to green so it's a bit more obvious. So again, you can play around with these settings all you want. You can add outside frame. Yeah, have a good play around with that. I try it on this at the moment, see how that goes. What I didn't mention was the ball that pops up on the screen there mirrors your ball moving around actually in the hitting area of the element. So as you move the ball in the hitting area, you'll see it actually move in this box. I can't actually do that immediately right now because I'm not actually in the garage at the moment. So right at the end, I'll try and go out to the garage and show you the ball moving around inside that area. Let's go back to, so it's pointing towards there. Okay, so have a play around with settings. So once you've placed the pop-ups wherever you want them to be, click on click that. So that box will stay up at the moment because I've clicked on ready. If I change the ball and club data hitting area so it increases, immediately the pop-up disappears because it sees that the ball is ready and ready to go. If I click that again, you'll see that the pop-up, the hitting area is decreased in size. So it sees the ball as being not in a ready position at the moment. I'd have to move it physically into that box. Okay, that's, so I forgot to put the GS Pro connector on. Reset GS Pro Connect. If you've ever used GS Pro a lot, you'll find that the connector now is quite fragile, and if it breaks, you have to restart it. Right, so let's go into the GS Pro setup. So if you click on GS Pro, and then you'll get two boxes there, and there's an option here to add a second element. I've not been able to test that because I haven't got two elements, but the option is there to add one. Hopefully Mike or Brett can test that at some point. So this shows live what's going on. So at the moment it says primary ball find. So if you click on this, the standby, oh yeah, so I kept the settings to keep it ready. So put that to none, and then click on ready, and then you'll see this is primary and standby. Okay, so we need to set up the link to GS Pro. So there's another box below here, and they've got GS Pro connection. If you click on automatic primary, So that's what you'd use normally if you just got one element. The second option is if you've got a second element and you want to run two of these copies of these program, use that one, and then you've got manual settings as well, where you can set up a manual IP address and port number. So click on automatic primary, and it'll say important, change the element computer settings in SGT, do not use that, which I've already talked about. So that has automatic connected to GS Pro. And the way you can tell that is because it says in this box here, club equals LW. If I go down to the club here and change that to something else, pitch and wedge, and then go back to the program, you can see that changes in real time to whatever the to GS Pro is set to. There's handiness box here. Automatic will automatically change between right hand and left hand, depending on what GS Pro sends. You can fix it at right hand, fix it at left hand. I think Brett mentioned this. If you've got two elements facing each other, then it could cause an issue with the IR strobing from one across to the other. So what you can do, you can say fixed right hand, standby for left. So what that means is that this unit would be fixed at right-handed. If you change the GS Pro to left-handed, it would put the unit into standby. So that would just put the unit into ready, and then fixed right hand, standby for left. Actually, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So in theory, if I click this onto left hand at the bottom, go back to the program, you should see it's automatically put into standby. And then when you go straight back to right hand, it should bring this element straight out of standby, ready to take shots again. There's also a heartbeat message to GS Pro. This is useful if the link gets cut between this program and the Open API connector in GS Pro. Then it'll give you an error message and just say you need to restart the GS Pro connector, as we've already seen. So you can check that to whatever you want it to be, whatever time, how often you want it to pull. I think that's probably about it. Once you've set all this up, there shouldn't be anything more to do each time you launch the program. You just launch it, automatic connects, all the settings you've set, automatic start, the GS Pro connection to the automatic connect, and then all you have to do is just have to minimize the program. Obviously the pop-ups work in the background, so well, that works fine. If you just go back to the program, if you want to delete the program settings, there is an option to reset in the program, or you can just delete this elements.txt file and then restart the program, and that will start you from scratch again. Let's close that down. Go back to SGT local. Oops. Okay, I think that's about it. Yeah, when you're running GS Pro, you can run this on the screen or on the second monitor if you want to do. I'm not too sure how much value that would, which value to really add. Let me click on settings again, see if there's anything else I need to show you in here. Let's put that back to auto. Click on stop video and ball impact. What I can do now is if you give me a minute, I'll just nip over to the garage and you'll see a live demo, hopefully, of the ball moving around inside the screen when the ball moves in the hitting mat. At the moment, one of the issues I need to resolve is this pop-up box appears not just on the tee, but also on second shots on the fairway or in the bunker. So I need to find a reliable way to only have this pop up or a limited pop-up when it's not on the hitting area. I think the only way to detect that at the moment is to look at this shot counter at the top in GS Pro, where it says shot 1. So shot 1's always from the tee box, and obviously you've got these markers to move the ball left and right. So if anybody's got a better idea of how to detect when the ball's on the tee, please let me know. Okay, so just I'll keep the recording going. Give me 30 seconds. I'll move into the garage. I'll take a few shots. If I shank it, then I apologise. Give me a second.
Ready. 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 Ready.
Okay, hope you all saw that shank that I hit before. Yeah, as you can see, it's a live demonstration. Okay, hope that helps. I'll post this on the Discord group as a private YouTube link and send you a link out to download the program. Just give me some feedback on the Discord. I think you'll have my Discord username on the Discord group, so just PM me with some feedback. Okay, take care everybody. See you then. Bye.